youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host, my name is Michael Mayhew, and I am here with my co-hosts.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg, and we are once again joined by the one man whose father considered him a bigger disappointment than mine,
Nick from youtube.com/TicTacMan. And joining us is my intern, my hetero life mate, the man who cleans my pool,
Emmanuel. Hola, mi amigos.
And as I said, welcome to 30 Minutes of Mayhem, the podcast your mother can be ashamed of. And Nick, tell me, why is this the podcast your mother can be ashamed of?
because I make jokes about having my father in a coffee can.
That is exactly correct. I started.
so I couldn't remember.
But alright, is someone like either jerking right now into the mic or standing in front of a fan or anything of that nature?
Is it me?
Yes, it's his normal breathing, don't worry.
No way, stupid fly. Get out of here.
Really, my breathing?
His level of excitement, he's just like...
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so I didn't know if it was your level of excitement, if you had dick out and you were tickling the backside of it. Greg's down there getting excited. I heard him. He's like, God. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking coming already. We just started. God damn it. God. Premature.
That's what they call him, the one-pump chump.
Premature ejaculate. Have you ever been in a situation in which you're like trying to get it in, and like because it's not necessarily just like hot dog down a hallway, so it's like really tight, and you're trying to get it in there, and you don't even really get the opportunity for like a one-pump chump because there's so much work to get it in there, and it's caused so much stimulation to your dick that you start coming like as you're getting it in there, or like right before you get it in there.
I'm proud to say no.
You ever done that? Nick, have you ever?
No.
I honestly can't say I have.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Just
heard this crazy experience from a friend of mine.
Yeah, it was just actually, I think it was Greg that told me about it, when his...
Yeah.
Speaking of Greg not being able to get it in there, if you want to punch Greg's V card, send us an email, 30minutesmayhem@gmail.com. You can tweet us at 30mins of mayhem on Twitter. Contact us on Facebook. Send us a message on there, however you want to do that. Or to, my personal account, I guess you could do that. And tell us you know somebody that wants to do it, or you want to do it. We are going to have a game show, hopefully, unless everything gets fucked up. So I hate to even announce the idea of that, but get excited about it. But we can only do it with your participation if you want to touch Greg's pee-pee. I don't care if you slap it, upslap it, whatever you got to do to get him off. Again, Greg, maybe what I was asking the question about is a look into your future in which you're trying to get it in there and you just start coming all over the outside. I don't know. Whatever you got to do, maybe you'll get a second chance. Hopefully they'll give you the second chance, because you know what, Greg, you gotta get that easy one out of the way before you get to that point. But don't make it too close, because then it'll be hard for you to get hard.
That's right.
Okay, I will.
I don't want you to paint the inside of your pants at the beginning, okay? That's all I'm saying.
I'll try not to, man. Don't worry.
The sticky drawer syndrome.
Sticky drawer
I was gonna
syndrome.
say, what if he kind of
Sticky drawer syndrome is now the name of this episode. And
That sounds like a great name for a band.
that sounds like your autobiography. And,
Oh, God.
and on that note, before we get into this shit, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break.
In the arms of an angel.
Hi, I'm Michael Mayhew. Will you be the donor for a struggling podcast? Every day podcasts are recorded, edited, and uploaded, and require your help. Please click the link in the description to donate to 30 Minutes of Mayhem, or a small amount via PayPal, using 30minutesmayhem@gmail.com. You'll help rescue yourself from boredom and us from poverty, and provide software, microphones, server space, and love. Donate in the next 30 minutes, and you will receive an email confirming your donation. And you'll know that you've given this podcast a second chance, thanks to you. Your donation says we're here to stay. Please donate right now.
So, speaking of sticky drawer syndrome, Greg, I know that you're probably into like the weird shit to where it's like mother and son go on vacation, and then son's like, "Oh, Mom, I can't sleep," and she's like, "It's okay. just put your dick up against my butt here and, you know, like, just relax, and it's a warm space, and hopefully your erection will go away. And he's like, Mom, it's not working. And she's like, well, you got to quit moving around, and your erection will go down. And he's like, but it's still not working. And then for some reason she's like, well, maybe if you pull my panties down a little bit and then, like, put it in between my panties and my actual, like, butt cheeks, it'll, like, stop it from moving around. And then he's like, Mom, it's still not going down. And then for some weird reason, she's like, well, maybe if you just put it inside of me a little bit, like, that'll help it. And then he doesn't quit moving. And then she's like, what are you doing? You can't be moving. This is so wrong. And then they fuck. I don't know why that is a thing. Like, who wrote that storyline? But anyways, the whole point to it, Greg, is I know that's probably, like, your preferred thing. But the first topic is, what is your favorite genre of porn?
Tough one, because
it's okay if you tell us, like, anime, like octopus porn.
Nah, I mean, like, that just
dicks
seems
or
too
whatever.
easy. I mean, and, like,
Too easy.
hentai isn't really a genre so much
Well,
as
here's
Hentai
the
is
thing,
exact genre.
Here it is a primary genre, actually.
Okay,
Greg,
well then,
now I'd like to point out, though, if you are into tentacles, 10 Men Asagi, which is, like, one of the most hardcore hentai of all time, considered and hailed by some as one of the best. There is now a live action one, so you get to see a girl tentacle fucked in live action.
interesting.
And I'm sure she screams and everything, because they probably use practical effects.
Very
Those are
practical
real
effects.
tentacles going up that coochie.
So, yeah, like, I know with the hentai, like, most of the time it's, like, dudes doing the voice of the dudes and the chicks, correct?
What?
What? No, it's normally, like, over there they have handy parlors, and it's normally those girls because they need extra money on the side.
I thought, like, not with the live act, like, I'm talking about in the anime. In the
anime, it's usually
the hentai, whatever the fuck, the drawn shit that you guys are somehow able to jerk off to. Like, I thought it was
art.
guys that, like, I can jerk off to art too. I mean, but fucking Bang Bros and goddamn is just as much art as what, you know, Bang Bus. You ever watch Bang Bus? Like, the art is the fact of getting an already scripted person onto the bus but making it seem real.
There's a couple Norman Rockwells that I can kind of just rub it off to.
Yeah. You know, there's an ancient story about a man that found a statue so attractive that he went and had sex with it, and then after he left a love stain on it, he decided to do what most of us don't do this day and age, and throw himself over the cliff in shame for jerking off to something that wasn't real, but...
I feel like Love Stain is my autobiography.
Arousing.
And they consider Jackson Pollock art, right? I make a Jackson Pollock painting every time I come. So does that make me an artist, Greg? Emmanuel, whoever was trying to argue the fact that hentai is art. Okay, well, you know what? Fuck you guys. What I'm saying is, at one point in time, it used to be men that voiced the men and the women, the female characters in hentai. Was it not, or is it still a thing?
Right now,
I don't know if
no.
it was ever a thing. It may have been a thing, but...
Currently, all I know is they normally get the girls from the handski parlors to do the voiceovers because, one, they're already willing to do whatever it takes for money.
I was asking because the curiosity was whether if that was the case, if they were getting men to play both parts in the live action.
Yeah.
That would be, you know, they just hide it with the pixelation, so you would never know, right?
That's a long-ass clit, just saying.
No, you know, you just...
I've seen some long-ass clits, it's okay, you know?
You ever seen the China Playboy issue from back in the day?
Ugh.
Ooh.
I even had a clit that filled my mouth full of white stuff once.
Yeah, right. You know, so there's that. But like, stereotypically, like, Asians have small penises. Stereotypically, so do I, right?
Yeah, this girl was Asian too.
That's interesting.
You are the best at sex, though, Nick. Good job.
Okay,
That's
so
why I'm waiting.
Yeah, I still haven't answered the question. So I mean,
I'm so confused at the point of Emmanuel is like, you are the best at sex, Nick. But then again, Nick has told us a little bit about your experiences back when you guys were in jail together in Mexico. But Greg, go ahead. You were saying how you like to watch girls get tentacle fucked.
well, I mean that is one that I like. But if I'm
goddamn, calm down. Put your dick away. You don't need to watch it right now.
Sorry.
He's whipping it out.
Oh, he's ready to bust, baby. He's ready to bust.
I think though, if I'm going with like just
oh, cut my balls.
if I'm going with,
can we trust him? No. Okay. So
That man gets a blowjob. Every day, can we trust him? Slips a finger into his asshole. Oh, we can really trust him.
God damn it, Greg, are you ever going to tell us or what?
I would have to pick, if I had to pick one for this topic, I would probably pick like just Japanese.
Anything Japanese.
You like them
Yeah, pretty
sounding
much.
like a 3-year-old screaming boy.
So is it the allure of you don't know what's beneath the pixelation?
I don't really know what it is. All I know is that it just...
Their culture is modest in its lewdness.
Can you give me an accurate recreation of what Greg likes, just in case our listeners and myself are not exactly familiar?
Let me warm up with this one. Something like that, maybe.
Greg is probably so hard right now. Actually, he probably has sticky drawer syndrome currently again. Did you cum yourself?
No. I mean, I did almost piss myself laughing, but no, that's...
I
That's
almost
part of their
pissed
fetish.
myself.
They like you to piss after you're
White piss.
I mean, like, one of my all-time favorite porn stars is...
Awesome.
What?
Asa Akira?
No,
Yes, she is very hot. She is very hot, but I mean, like, if we're going with, like, the straight Japanese, I would say Hitomi Tanaka. I mean, I just...
Yeah, you talked about her on a previous episode. I want to say it was, like, episode 78 or 79 you talked about.
Well, that's just
about
because,
her,
like, her stuff is, like, awesome. And, like, to borrow your terminology, Mike, she makes my pee-pee hard.
So Nick and I were both trying to make jokes just a second ago, and we were stepping all over each other, just much like the fetish of getting your balls stepped on, enough to the point to where it sends you to the hospital. Now, with that being said, Nick, what would you say your favorite genre is?
Preferably, it's a combination. Like, I dig POV, but it has to be POV with big ass, because I want to see that shit, like, devouring a cock. Like, I want to see that big ass just, like, look like it's swallowing a dick. Not anal per se, but I want it, like, you know, reverse cowgirl, like, rah, rah. Like, watch a Pac-Man go at it.
I was gonna say something about Pac-Man. What if you took one of those
Waka
videos and you
Waka.
just added you just added the Pac-Man sound effects and music, like, and then it's just like like during the whole
I know
video.
what I'm doing for my next art video. Thank you, Greg.
It's like, oh baby, gargle those cherries. Extra points.
Oh god, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I feel like we should start like a Pornhub channel.
Can we make a 30 Minutes of Mayhem playlist?
Well, essentially that's what the Christopher Columbus of XXX on Tumblr is. So you could always check that one out if you want to look into different shit that we're into than the Christopher Columbus of XXX or Christopher Columbus of XXX on Tumblr would be the place to go for that.
So, yeah, that's my view. Like, I want to see that ass devour that dick.
Let's take a commercial break.
Hi, Greg here. Feel like you're not getting enough pussy on your dick? Dick feeling a little dry? Balls not getting bounced on enough? I got the solution right here. A 30 Minutes of Mayhem shirt, and it's guaranteed to get you laid. Don't believe me? Just listen to these satisfied customers.
Ever since I started wearing my 30 Minutes of Mayhem shirt, I get pussy 5 times a day now. Thanks, Mom, for buying me the shirt.
God down there, I get my shirt, I porky pig in that son bitch. I tell you what, I'm only wearing that shirt when I'm fucking a bitch in the ass. Goddamn animals. Do animals count? Is that part of this thing? What if I'm fucking my cousin? If I'm fucking my cousin, does that count too? What about homosexuality? Is there any specific thing that we are disregarding when it comes to whether these shirts will get me laid or will they will not get me laid? Now, I tell you what, well, fuck it. If I'm porky pig and goddamn shit, these fucking things work.
Are you ready to roll around in a wheelchair the rest of your life because your pelvis got pulverized by pounding so much pussy? Then roll on over to MayhewMayhem.spreadshirt.com and get laid today!
Warning, 30 Minutes Man cannot guarantee wearing this shirt will get you laid. Results may vary.
Do you have a VR headset to
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Dude, like, that's what all I hear from conventions where VR is being demoed. Like, the porn line goes out the fucking door and around the corner.
Oh, I can
like,
imagine.
do you want to play this new video game in POV? No, but I want to watch porn in POV, so it feels like my dick's getting rode. They even have an attachment that you can stick your dick into, and it like squeezes and pulls forward.
What about games? What about games where you do the fucking?
I think
I
this
know
is
those
something we need
exist
to
for VR
invest in.
headsets.
We need to start development. That's all I'm saying.
Greg's like, what about games where I can play a game and it still jerks me off at the same time? Like the
Oh, dude,
they're like,
I mean,
da-da-da-da-da,
I swear to
and
God,
I'm still getting jerked off.
Like, I swear to God, if my, like, as much as I love my Xbox One and my PS4 and that, I swear to God, if they could jerk me off while I'm playing, then that would be, like, so
Then
much better.
You need to roll the clock back, because there was a service back in the day that was called, I think it was Highjoys, and they had a companion app for the Wii, and you could get an attachment for your Wiimote to stimulate you.
So you have an attachment for your Wii to stimulate your Wii.
Yes.
Your wee-wee, if you will.
To be fair,
apparently the one for guys was garbage, but the one for girls was pretty phenomenal from what I was informed.
They don't even need an attachment. They could just stick that thing right up on in there.
and this is why Greg still has his V card, because he clearly doesn't know how things work. He's like, you just jam it right up in there, right? I'm like, you know what, Greg, go for it.
Yeah, you know, try that.
I don't know, man. I mean, some girls got a box shape, right? No?
A box-shaped box. I think that was one of Kurt Cobain's unreleased songs.
He did have an unreleased song called Moist Vagina. So
I think that should have been released as a box-shaped box.
Cardboard rape.
Greg, to be fair, with the Xbox One, it is possible to stimulate yourself with it. It's also a better use for it. I would suggest probably like a shotgun, just shooting a hole into it with like, not some buckshot, but like a nice slug, and then just put some duct tape around the edges like it's a glory hole, and then just maybe take like kind of like a Ziploc bag and put it in like the center of like a towel, wrap it, fold the top around over top of that, and then a rubber band or a hair tie around that so it keeps it back. And after you've rolled the towel, you know what I mean? And then just put it in the hole that you shot into the Xbox, a little bit of lube. It's like a homemade pocket pussy, and it's a better use for the Xbox One.
So back when the 360 dropped, one of the first third-party apps that were available on the store, which was like years into development, was one that basically turned your controller into a vibrator. That's legit. It was supposed to be a massaging app is what they called it.
Well, that's what they call a lot of those things, but I mean, you know, a dildo is a dildo is a dildo.
Okay, so speaking of a dildo is a dildo is a dildo, we are hopefully going to be doing the fleshlight reviews not too far out from now. We'll see. That's something else we have in the works. So, Greg, you won't have to make a homemade one or fuck your Xbox One. We'll see if we can get you a legitimate one. And God, I pray so hard you just get caught using it.
There's a power storm and his mom runs into his room. She's like, I need a flashlight. She grabs it right off his nightstand. Why is there a cap on it? And then she just gets that smell.
Oh.
Because he probably didn't clean it.
Didn't clean it properly, so it it just smells like shrimp.
Build up.
Oh no.
It's like the smell of lube and fucking bleach.
And depression.
And depression. And some sweat. Yeah, it smells like BO real bad for some reason too. And you're like, why does this thing smell like BO? And you're like,
flashlights. Where's the button for the flashlight? I can't find it.
He gets a fancy one where there is a button and it makes it spin inside. It makes it do like little waves and stuff. God damn it! I hope you get caught jerking off. I'm gonna say POV as well. I like the POV stuff. So there's that. Everyone's on the POV thing. Speaking of Greg getting caught jerking off with a fleshlight, if we do the fleshlight reviews, let's take a little quick commercial break before Greg tells us a story about maybe exactly that. I don't know. You'll have to see after this commercial break. So Greg, after all these years, I hear you finally got a smartphone.
That's right, Mike. I now have the entire internet at my fingertips.
That's true. Well, it also makes it easier for you to be able to find and listen to
porn.
Well, you listen to porn? I was gonna say 30 Minutes of Mayhem, but...
Porn. So much porn.
I feel like it's kind of weird that you listen to porn, like that you just consuming it in any way you can. I mean, are you tearing apart like old VHS tapes and eating the tape itself to consume the pornography?
Maybe.
That may be true, but you know there's other apps, you know, great ones like YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker.
Even dating apps that could even get you laid, like Grindr.
Huh. I guess I'll have to check that out sometime.
While you're doing that, make sure to check out 30 Minutes Mayhem on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and various other apps. Speaking of getting caught fucking a fleshlight while you have it stuffed between your mattress and box springs, and your parents come in and they just have that vision of you with your pants not exactly all the way down, but they're down far enough, and I don't know why you just didn't take them all the way off, and they just see your ass as you're like pumping into this thing. And they're just
They
like,
just
God
burn the
damn.
mattress. They just got to burn the mattress after that. That's the only.
Takes me back to Blink-182's live album where Mark says, "Remember, kids, if your parents ever catch you masturbating, just tell them I was cleaning it and it went off."
Well, if you're fucking
Well, yeah, you can't use that excuse in that
if
case.
you're fucking a fleshlight that you have stuff between your box springs and mattress, and your parents walk in and like, I don't know if you've ever like seen what it looks like when you're flexing like butt cheeks, or if you're like, you know, doing some just kind of like slight hip thrusting, you know, with your dick.
Mm-hmm.
So how your butt cheeks fucking clench and everything. But anyways, that's a very distinct look. So just imagine your parents walking in on that. And the only way it's worse is if you're fucking this fleshlight and you're just really into it, and you're like, Nick, what was your imitation again there?
Oh, Dustin, Oni-chan. Oni-chan.
So Greg is screaming this as he's about the climax, and his parents come in the door real quick, and they're all of a sudden they're like, and he's like, oh my god, and then he's fucking nutting all over, not only partially inside of it, but he's like nutting on that, and he turns towards his parents, and he's just, his dick's thrown up all over the floor, and he's like, god damn it, so he's trying to cover himself. So he's trying to pull for the sheet to get it on the bed to cover himself, and he pulls out the fleshlight, which lands on the floor and just rolls across to his parents' feet, and they look down, and Nick, I'll let you take his father's reaction from here.
I always knew you'd be a disappointment.
Oh god.
And then his mother is like, what is that? What is that? What is that smell? And then back to the whole point of the whole shrimp and mixture of bleach and disappointment and shame is now at this part. The worst part for Greg is the fact that he's still coming in the bedsheet that he's covering himself up with, so it's just not getting any better. And then not so much the sticky drawers syndrome, but now he's got also
Sticky sheet syndrome.
Got sticky sheet syndrome. That's a little bit more difficult to say. Now, with all of that being said, Greg, have you ever hid a porn stash from your parents that has been discovered, whether it's old school, like magazines, blah, 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 whatever, on your computer, anything like that?
Well, I have a stash, but it's all digital, obviously, on my computer, so they haven't found that, mainly because they don't go on my computer, luckily.
Right.
However...
Oh, no, sorry, that's not...
However, there was this one time... years and years and years ago. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that many years. It really was like, I think it was 2004?
Well, you discovered porn in 2003. We've concluded that via episode 75, and that's when we named you the Christopher Columbus of porn.
Yeah, I know. But I'm trying to remember when this happened. But
makes sense now.
It was 2004.
So a year into beating your shit.
Yeah, like a year into me beating my shit. This is just conjecture because nothing ever really came of it. But I remember, came. But I remember distinctly, I was watching something on the computer, beating it. The phone rang, and I answered it, and my mom said that she was going to come home and pick us up, and we were going to go to the Bellevue pool. And so I was like, okay, cool. And so get my swim trunks and everything, and we go out. We're at the Bellevue pool for like a few hours, then we come home. Well,
you said you got off. Does that mean that you finished?
Because
no,
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
How's that a thing? You either fucking came or you didn't come. Like, you can't just let a little out.
I meant like it was.
I'm gonna let a little pressure out there.
I got off the computer and I got off because I came.
Oh, okay. So I understand now, because like if you listen to all the episodes at this point, which I don't know why you would, we're over 80 deep at this point, but we know that Greg jerks off left-handed. He's right-hand dominant, but he jerks off left-handed. Fun fact, just in case anyone forgot about that. If I remember correctly, the reason why you do that is because of internet porn and the direction in which the door was to the computer in which you first discovered it. So you had to use your left hand to use it to be able to protect yourself and use the mouse and keyboard correctly?
Yes. The main reason was because I'm right hand dominant. I had to keep my hand on the mouse at all times. So just in case I heard somebody coming, I could quickly exit out of it and hide the fact that I was. I mean, there were a few close calls back in the day, but this is actually related to that because I remember when we came home, my dad had stayed home the entire time, and so I came home. and I turn on the computer, and lo and behold, I thought I had exited out of the window when when we left for the pool, but I turned on the computer, and the immediate thing that just popped up on the computer was the porn video I was watching, and I was just like, everything drained out of my face. I was just like, oh, fuck me. And to this day, I still don't know if my dad ever found out about that. I mean, he's never said anything.
That moment for him was probably one of the greatest release in his life. He's just like, oh my god, he isn't gay.
But then he was like, I wonder what he's into. So he pushes replay, in which he hears this. Nick, I'll let you take it from here.
Dustin Oni-chan!
At that point, his reaction is then, Nick, I'll let you take it from here.
The world would be better if he was dead.
So that's the type of reaction he had at that point, and he just left it on the screen so that you could know his shame and your shame. But you don't know all of his shame, because he was like, you know what? I didn't know I could use the internet for porn. So he opens up a new window and takes care of his business, coming in probably the same spot you did. I don't know what you did. You just like,
it's a family thing.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Well, here's a crazy thought. What if you did close out the window and it was actually your dad that left it behind, and it was just by pure coincidence that you guys got home, he had to get off the PC real quick, and he was watching the same video that you were. Because like father, like son, right?
That'd be really weird.
Do you remember what the video was?
No, I don't, dude. That was like almost 13 years ago. I cannot remember, because I didn't even have anything to like go on. I was just like browsing the internet. I was just like, let me see some titties, and that's about it. Like, I just browsing the internet trying to find stuff. I didn't even really pay attention to the names of videos.
You were like asking Jeeves. You were like, sex.
How do I see?
And that was like what you were, whatever.
I always use Google, but I will say that like one of the things that has always been, not anymore, but before they introduced Safe Search, it would give you a ton of stuff that was relevant to what you wanted, and then a ton of stuff you never wanted to see in the first place. God, I still remember looking up pictures for a band that I liked and finding some pictures that I have no idea why they were on that search, but they still scar me to this day.
Well, with that being said, Nick, what do you got for this one?
I quite clearly remember this because I had found a porno mag in the woods, and I'm sure like some hunter left it there because it was near a popular tree stand, because it was just one that someone just built out of pallets, and a lot of people used it. So there's one just like chilling in the leaves, and me and my buddy find it, and I start stashing that in the woods. And me being a kid, not knowing how that shit works, but I liked what I was seeing because I like flip through it. I'm like, oh yeah. So I'd like put my dick on that page.
Come on, eat it.
I was just like, this is what they do, right? You just lay your dick on the page, right? But so
don't fucking laugh at him like he's the only one that's fucking done that. You know goddamn well that he
we're laughing with
I
him.
I never got the magazine experience. I only ever like did digital.
7, 8, 9 years old.
Like,
goddamn millennial. You don't know what it's like to put your goddamn dick against the page of naked titties.
He's the second oldest one here, and and he never had the fucking magazine experience. You know what, Greg? If you want to send Greg your old porn mags, email us at 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com or tweet at us 30mins of mayhem on Twitter. Send us a message on Facebook. I will give you the PO box to send Greg your old porn. If the pages are stuck together, it's not like it's gonna matter. We'll just go ahead and get him old porn so he can have the magazine experience. So tune into episode 83 for the thrilling conclusion of this conversation. Find out what happened with Nick with the porno that he found in the woods. Maybe you've helped Greg out by the time we get to the next episode, and you have sent him some of your old magazine porn. And does Michael have a brilliant plan that will change the entire world? Episode 83 for the thrilling conclusion of this conversation. That does it for another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I have been here with my co-hosts,
Greg
and Nick.
We want to thank Emmanuel for being on. Don't forget to check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, all of those different locations. And donate to us on PayPal via 30minutesmayhem@gmail.com, because we can't do this without you guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and later, fellas.